Joined now by our Director of Scouting, Craig Button, with a brand new haircut. And even that new haircut couldn't help the Toronto Maple Leafs in game number 2. Craig, throughout the Matthews, Nylander, Marner era, they've talked about learning lessons in the postseason. After game 2, is it safe to say there are still some lessons to be learned, Craig?
Oh, I think it's more than safe to say, Jay, because when you think about the game, and I repeat this often, it's the comment that says you got to treat every single play as critically important, because at the end of the game, you don't know which play will be critically important to the outcome. And the Leafs simply didn't do that. And it cost them this game. I mean, they're up 2-1 in this game, and then just huge mistakes. I mean, a play in the neutral zone, William Nylander doesn't want to give it up, and now under pressure and under duress, Barkov, and certainly Samsonov should have had that. Then after this play, you got Mitch Marner. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. Then he puts Matthews on the spot. Matthews tries to make a play, a terrible decision, and just like that, in just over a minute, it's 3-2 for the Florida Panthers. So, you know, one of the things, and we can look at different areas of the game, and, you know, the players talk and the Leafs talk about learning lessons and what they've learned. And they talk a good talk, but the playoffs are about walking the walk. And right now, the actions of the Toronto Maple Leafs are speaking loudly that the lessons that they keep talking about learning aren't being applied on a consistent basis. So now you come in against a team that had to win their last 3 games, and they're rolling. They had to beat a good team, 2 of them on the road. They come right into Toronto, and the Maple Leafs have a tiger by the tail. And we're going to see how they can apply some of these lessons. This game, too, was a painful lesson. It'll be even more painful if they don't find a way to win game 3.
And then how about my guy, Sergei Bobrovsky, Craig? He gives up 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. One might say at that point he was very much off the case. And then my guy, Bob, shuts the door the rest of the way. He's won 5 straight games. What would you say about Sergei now, Craig?
I'll say Vezina Bob is back. Vezina Bob is back, Jay. And he's back in a big way. 5 straight wins, 4 of them on the road. Those 4 road wins, lights out numbers. And early in this game, the Leafs, you know, were attacking them. There was some loose plays in and around the net. They hunted the puck. They scored a goal off of a rebound. But after that, he was brilliant. And when Sergei Bobrovsky finds that rhythm in his game where he can stare down the best of the best on the other side and make sure that the puck isn't going into the net, he becomes a dominant force. And you don't win 2 Vezinas by accident. And Sergei Bobrovsky, after really kind of a struggling regular season, doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. What matters now, 5 straight wins, where 3 of those wins had to come or they're going home. And now they come right into Toronto and win 2 games on the back of great play by Sergei Bobrovsky. I will add this. The Toronto Maple Leafs had an opportunity to take a goaltender that looked a little bit off early in the game and really take advantage. And that can extend deeper into the series. The Leafs didn't. That is a missed opportunity.
And Bobrovsky very much back on the case. Now, other than the goaltending battle, is there anywhere else over the first couple of games, Craig, that you've seen Florida have the upper hand significantly?
Yeah, what I would say is 5-on-5 play, even strength. And 2 games in a row now, the Leafs have had third period, late push third period, where they've padded some of their even strength play. But they've had stretches during other parts of the game where it hasn't been good enough. In fact, when you look at the scales have tilted in the favor of the Florida Panthers, and it's not good enough. I mean, you look at a play where you're giving away the puck. Obviously, these lead to goals, and that is not good, strong play. 5-on-5 play requires you to be sharp, requires you to be competitive and dialed in everywhere on the ice. And the Leafs aren't. They haven't been for too long during stretches of these games. What they got to do is stretch out some of the really good, strong 5-on-5 play, and that will take away some of the effectiveness of the Florida Panthers. Right now, in the 5-on-5 play for longer stretches of the game, the Florida Panthers are carrying it.
So Toronto is down 2 games to none in the series, obviously. Craig, what should be the next move if you are Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe?
Well, one thing that I would say to Sheldon, and I think it's a really important one, The Leafs want to be a puck possession team, and I get it. But there's times when puck possession play is not your best play. 2 goals in this game are perfect examples of that. So there comes times in a game where you got to give up the puck, and you got to just say, holding the puck isn't our best play. So, you know, when you're a puck possession team, you got to be able to recognize in games where getting rid of the puck, moving the puck into areas that aren't going to hurt you, become required work. So I think that that's the first thing Sheldon has to really get his players to understand. The second thing, which is really the first thing probably, is that, you know what? Their top players have to be a lot better. And, you know, I thought through the first 2 periods that Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner were not at the level required to take over a game. And, you know, people are going to point to William Nylander. I thought William Nylander was the best player on the ice for the Toronto Maple Leafs start to finish. I know he made a mistake. Mistakes become part of the game. But we're looking now at players, and I'm talking about key players, that have to get dialed in at a higher level on a more consistent basis. We see stretches of it. We see stretches of it. You got to do it for longer stretches. And that is on the players. Those are the 2 things I think that Sheldon and the team have to focus in on.
All right, so the Leafs now head to sunny Florida for Game 3 Sunday night against the Panthers, trying to get back in the series. Hey, it's been pretty gloomy and rainy in Toronto this whole week, Craig, so maybe a little sunshine is exactly what the buds need to grow.